Bikes in the Softail range from Harley-Davidson have always been some of my favourites. The Lowrider S, the Street Bob, the Fat Boy, the Fat Bob, and this guy, the Breakout. The Softail name comes from the frame being in two parts, the suspensions under the seat making the tail soft, as opposed to a hardtail which has the frame in one piece, making the tail hard.
It was introduced by Harley-Davidson in 1984 and has since become the most popular body type.
The coolest thing about the Softail line is that the suspension is hidden.
Your bike maintains that chopper hardtail look while allowing you to ride it for longer than 10 minutes without having to walk like a cowboy after.
Yeah, this thing's got some serious horsepower.
Right under your seat here is your high-performance rear monoshock.
The frame is in two parts. The rear section is the swing arm, which attaches to the rear wheel. As the wheel moves up or down, the monoshock collapses or extends to dampen the movement, giving you a super smooth ride.
It can be set very easily with your preload adjuster right here, and you just twist it by hand. Or just have a play around until you find the right level of bouncy. No! Do not do that. All the settings are in your manual. Read it before you get out on the road. Standard on the Breakout is the Milwaukee-Eight 114 engine.
It's been in the lineup on various models since 2017, and it's a beast.
Previous Harley V-twins only had 2 valves per cylinder.
The Milwaukee-Eight beefed it up to 4 valves per cylinder for a total of 8.
Hence the 8 in the Milwaukee-Eight engine name. The Milwaukee-Eight was a massive upgrade on the previous V-twins in pretty much every way.
Better fuel economy, less heat, less vibration, increased intake flow capacity, and a faster bike that gave you about 10% more torque and more power than the older models.
Out of the box on the Breakout, you're getting about 155 Newton meters of torque and 95 horsepower.
All that low-end torque makes it very quick when it needs to be.
Along with that drag bike performance, there's a 240mm rear tyre to match. Look how chunky that thing is. The wheelbase is pretty long. It's almost 2.5 metres, so heaps of stability.
To me, it fully looks like a custom bike, not something you would expect from the factory.
And I think that's a big part of the Breakout's appeal. It looks like a chopper that's been hanging out at the drag strip. Kids these days, so easily influenced. The front of the Breakout is clean. Look how small this gauge cluster is. All your cabling is tucked away along the spine of the bike. So you're not seeing much more than the clutch and the brake cable.
It really gives the Breakout that chopper look, where the goal was to have no gauges or visible wires, depending what you're into.
And even though your LCD is small, it's got all the info you need clearly visible.
You have access to your speedo, gear, odometer, fuel, clock, trip distance, range, tack, and flickers.
And your instrument cluster underneath has all your warning lights. Fit and finish is premium on the Breakout. Just look at that paint.
It's beautiful. The factory colours really pop, and I like that there's not too much chrome on there, but it's not a full blackout, so the body is nicely balanced against the paint.
And Like all good Harley-Davidsons, the options for customization are endless.
But to be honest, it doesn't need anything. It looks so good as a factory standard. Well, enough with the talking, let's get her out on the road. Cue gearing up montage. With a skinnier front wheel and drag bar, you can really throw the Breakout into corners, which is awesome for a bike that looks like it wants to go straight and fast. The engine note sounds rumbly and full, and even if the roads are boring, the bike is definitely not.
I'm a pretty big guy, so I like that the forward foot controls are standard. It's a nice relaxed riding position, and I don't feel cramped because of that long wheelbase. I guess the thing I really love about the Breakout is that it has so much character. You really feel like you're riding something special, and there is just insane amounts of power in here. The bike has classic Harley-Davidson styling with modern handling and power.
It's no wonder it's the top-selling model for Harley-Davidson ANZ. I guess there's only one thing left to do.
Get some. The wheelbase is pretty long. The bike is almost 2.5 millimeters tip to tail. So that's millimeters. The wheelbase is pretty long. It's almost 2.5 millimeters. Meters! The wheelbase is pretty long. It's almost 2.5 meters tip to. Why can't I now?